So, Kinga, it's so great to see you. We had a chance to meet, I think it's been over a year now, and we got together here in California on a project that we were working on with Lucas Gilman. And I wanted to get your perspective on how that project came about, what it was about, and how that couple of days that we spent together went.
Well, I'm glad you're actually reminding me of that right now when we're in lockdown. And that was almost exactly a year ago that popped up on my Facebook. And it was such a beautiful experience with, of course, Lucas Gilman, who is an ambassador for Nikon, and Ricky Lesser, who's an amazing videographer and photographer who called me for the project. And basically it was a project to showcase the natural wonder of California, from our magnificent oceans and kelp forests to the super bloom to the Big Sur coast to surfing, and truly just the outdoor magic that we have here in California, while of course incorporating the new Nikon lens and the photography element of it. So that's when I got to meet you. I actually remember on the dock as we were launching the boat and heading out to Catalina. And then we did our dive in the kelp forest there, which for me is magic. Anytime someone calls me and goes, hey, I have a job for you, you're gonna be free diving kelp forest, I call that a really, really good day. So I got to meet you, got to dive kelp forest, and that's when I got introduced to Outex, which was so cool, because to say that it came in handy for our dive, I think is a massive understatement. I think it was an integral part of that shoot and allowed us to accomplish that amazing underwater footage, which is, I think, a huge part of that video.
And you know what was so cool is that each of us brought different levels of expertise, and we were all challenged that day because the conditions in Catalina weren't quite favorable to accomplish what Lucas had set out to do. And so I think it was great to combine all of those skills, and having you, such an accomplished free diver, and you know, my swimming background didn't hurt in my ability to help out when needed be, you know, to be sort of the handy guy in the scene. And it was just so much fun.
But I think that's also such a good point, that a lot of the work that I do is out in the wild. And it is, you know, people laugh that TV production is really glamorous. I am here to tell you that it is not. And one of the things that you contend with the most, and why most of us love it, is you are constantly challenged by the environment, by the landscapes that you're in, by the weather, by all of it. And I think that's where different skill sets, different pieces of equipment really come into play when you realize that you are not in a sterile environment. And like you said, when we got out there to Catalina, the visibility maybe wasn't what we wanted it to be. The weather changes like this. The waves can be choppy, they can be glassy, you never know. So you have to have the skill sets and the equipment requirements to be able to contend with that to make a successful piece of content.